Welcome to Blade HQ, everybody. Today is July 10th, 2023, and we are talking about new knives. Let's get into it. First knife on the table is the new from Knives Big Banter with the JG10 handle and the 20 CV blade. What I love about the Big Banter is this is a Ben Peterson design, for in case you didn't know. Ben Peterson used to be here at Blade HQ, and now he runs a company called Knives, making a lot of cool knife accessories, and he has the Lander, which is a new knife that's really great. And he also has a few designs that have come out with Knives. And this one, I'll tell you right now, is not Ben's favorite knife. Ben believes in what he called the finger test, which is where you can pinch the knife and reach the tip with your finger. And as you can see here, you cannot reach the tip with your finger. This thing's huge, and I guarantee you Ben does not carry one. But he made one because he loves us, and he knows that some people, myself included, really do like a nice big knife. And this has the same sort of ergonomic strategy and the same design notes that the original Banter and the Baby Banter have, but it is more built for somebody who likes a big knife, who likes a little bit more edge, length, and the ability to slice a little bit better, maybe the ability to choke up as well. If you like the Banter and the Baby Banter more, rock on, Ben does too. But I personally like the Big Banter, and I'm grateful that he made it. And these ones are going for a really great price, especially considering that 20 CV blade of $147.48. Very solid deal. Next up, we have the CIVIVI Incisor 2. So you may remember the Incisor a little while ago. And CIVIVI are from the same company. And this one is sort of the budget-friendly version, and it is, well, it's a Karambit. And I think personally Karambits look kind of evil. They're designed to be held in this reverse grip, so you grab your hand here, and they were developed by the Silat warriors in Indonesia as self-defense knives. Knives that are used in combat, and they are made for very strategic cuts and anatomically damaging cuts. So somebody who is trained with a Karambit has a very small tool, but one that is very handy in a sticky situation. So if you are trained in edged combat, or you'd like to be, check out the Incisor 2, because for its price of $119, it's really great. So you can flick it open front hand if you want, if you're gonna like open a box. Has a flipper tab too that doubles as a guard when in use. But I think the way that most people are gonna use it is this little hook right here snags your pocket on the way out, and that opens the blade. So if you just grab it by the index finger, go weak hand if you want over here, just yank it against your pocket, that'll open, and you are right in business. So less than a second on the draw, and it's a great way to defend yourself. And maybe if you're running a handgun in your strong hand, run this in the left or the right, depending on what your weak hand is, and use that as a sort of retention tool. It's really cool. I really love me a good Karambit, and this one's really cool with that anodized aluminum handle. It comes in a few different colorways as well. Check the Incisor 2 out today. Next up from CMF Metalworks comes this interesting knife. I'm not exactly sure what the name of this knife is. So CMF Metalworks is a custom knife maker, and I forget what his name is, but he runs a lot of different models. And this one reminds me the most of his Daedalus and his Paladin models, but I am in love with this knife. This blade has such a clean and nice grind to it, and this belly just gets nice and slicey, and that's where the hollow goes even deeper. This thing has superpowers when it comes to gliding through paper. It's an M390 blade, a micarta handle, custom made, and generally with CMF Metalworks, you're getting one-offs. But these are very, very nice. And I am in love, and I'm so happy that we finally have them in quantity so people can sort of get their hands on the work of a master here. These ones are going for $395, so they're a bit spendy, but remember, you are getting some of the best grinding experience out there, very good build quality, and it feels like a CMF custom, but it doesn't cost 1,200 bucks. Next up, from Buck, we have a limited edition Buck Lock, so the 532. So the Buck Lock is this lock back, kind of has a bit more of the traditional vibe. It's not quite as large as the 110 or quite as small as the 112. It's a bit thinner than both of those. And this one is a very premium model that is a limited edition. So once this one's gone, it's gone for good. You got a micarta handle, this copper bolster that becomes these copper liners, and you got the pins that are copper as well, so it all fits very nicely. Smells like pennies, and I love it. And the 154 cm blade as well. So I love to see Buck sort of branching into those more premium steels, because you know that Buck has the chops to heat treat them right. any steel that you're getting from Buck, you can be rest assured that it is the best of that steel's performance. Because Paul Boss, man's a magical man. One of the best heat treaters on the market. And he has been leading the charge over at Buck. He's retired now, but he's still on contract and he's still making sure they're doing it right. And you see those premium steels, you know, that's nice. Anyway, these limited editions are going for $349.99, USA made, come to this nice leather sheath. And again, copper bolsters. You don't see them very much, but my goodness, do they look yummy. Next up, we have the Buck 117 Brahma Pro. So the Brahma, I think for lack of a better word, I would call the Mini 119. So the 119 is the big, full-size fixed blade hunting knife based off of the original knives made by Hoyt Buck. However, the Brahma is just right for me. It's quite a bit smaller, so my hand fills out the handle just right. If my hand was much bigger, I might want the larger blade. But then it's got the shorter blade, the narrower blade, and it just fits the hand so well. And the leather sheath it comes with is very nice, but I'd almost think about making a horizontal carry one for the small of the back. I think that would work really well here, and then you still get all of the cowboy vibes that you know and love from that original 119. And this one's the Pro model. So there's the originals of a lot of these Buck fixed blades that have the black, like phenolic resin handles and the 420 blades, but these Pro versions cost a bit more. This one goes for $159.99. And it's got a green micarta handle with a full hidden tang and then an S35 VN blade. Very, very premium knives. And they are just made so well right here in the USA and backed by Buck's Forever warranty. I love me the Pro series from Buck. Next up, the Concept Main Street Bar Lock. So you've seen the Main Street before, we've even seen the Little Main Street. I always want to call it the Mini Main Street, and then I am trying to call this one the Mini Main Street. It's a whole thing. There are so many knife names to remember. But the Main Street is a design from Dirk Pinkerton, and it used to come with a liner lock, but now it's got this really fidgety bar lock. And what I love is there's a lot of meat right here in the tip. So not only does that give you a nice strong tip, but it gives your action quite a bit of authority. So when it opens, and it locks it up really nicely. Very smooth action, open and shut. This one's got the micarta handle and a 154 CM blade. I can never remember what the blade steels are. My goodness, there are so many knives out there. But this one's a really cool one. I really like it, and it runs for $79.80. That's what I love about Concept knives, I'll tell you. Their pricing is very fair, in my opinion. Like, you're getting a great knife, but you're not underpaying, so you're not wondering what corners are they cutting, but you're also paying such a good price that you honestly have a hard time saying no to it. I would say in just about every category that Concept makes a knife, there comes a point where you ask yourself, is that knife twice as good as the Concept? And the answer is often no. And that's why I think that brand has come from it's very young, less than 3 years old, I want to say. And it has grown so rapidly since, and I am enjoying their designs quite a lot. And then last on the table, we have the Sharp by Design Mini Evo. And these knives are absolutely incredible. So some of the best machining ever. In fact, at first glance, you might think this was an integral, but it's not. It's just very well put together. And then the action on these is so smooth. And I love the sound because there's two sounds when it comes to opening a flipper. There's the detent being broken. Let's see if I can catch it. You hear that? And then there's the lock engaging. And this one captures both. When you flick it open, you can hear them both. Oh, it's such a good sounding knife. I love me the Evo. And then great materials as well. Titanium, this one's got the Nebula carbon fiber inlay and an M390 blade. Excellent everyday carry knives. Nice and light, but very stylish. I love them. And these ones are going from $365 up through $425, depending on who, what, when, where, why. But very nice everyday carry knives. If you're looking for something quite fancy and bougie, check out these Sharp by Designs. Anyway, that's a lot of new knives for the week. We hope you've enjoyed. Let us know what you like in the comments. Subscribe to see more knife content. We'll see you next time.